We've got my 2023 Yamaha Tenere 700 here. I just picked it up about a month ago in Panama City, Florida. It was on their lot for about a month, and they just so happened to be down the street from where I was and picked it up. This has been my dream bike now for about 3 years or so. I was never able to get my hands on it. I've seen one, but there was always a wait list of about 8 people or something crazy. So saw this on the lot, snagged it up, and I was mainly between this and the KTM 890 Adventure R, like many people probably are. And there was 3 main reasons I chose this over the KTM. And that was price, reliability, which I think could be argued, and then looks. I absolutely love the look of this bike. I was really interested in the Norden 901, and then it came out, and I still like the look of this better. But I just don't think there's a better looking bike on the market. And for me, I'm never going to be able to max out the capabilities that the KTM 890 can do, and I'll probably never max out what this can do. So for me, looks was important, and also the cheaper price tag by about $5,000. And supposedly the Yamaha Tenere is very reliable. Everyone raves about the motor. So yeah, I went with the Yamaha. So I came from a 2007 KLR 650, and I'll put the video up here you can click on for the reasons why I bought it and what I did to it and stuff like that. But I'm treating this bike very similar to the reasons of why I bought the KLR. I wanted a bike that I can rip around on dirt roads, I can take on BDRs, I can drive on the highway, has a decent amount of range, and compared to the KLR, I think this looks really nice. So one of my favorite parts about this bike is I think it can pass for a sport bike or a dirt bike. I love just with no bags or anything, just driving on the highway, cruising, going on backcountry roads or whatever, not even off-roading at all. Or I can load this thing up and I can do a BDR, 4 surface roads, or whatever I want. I just think it's a great, true dual sport. It is heavier than like a DRZ 400 or whatever, but for what I want to do, it's a perfect all-around bike. Eventually, I'll probably get like a small little dirt bike for single track and stuff like that. But for me, this is the best all-around bike that is lighter than the big guys, cheaper, and does exactly what I need it to. It doesn't have all these fancy buttons like the KTMs or the BMWs. And again, really important to me, as you can probably tell, I think this looks really nice. All right, so I do love this bike, and currently it's all stock. I haven't touched anything to it. There are some upgrades that I feel are needed, and the most important thing for me at least is going to be crash bars to protect the side of the bike, the gas tank, and the upper portion of the motor. I'm not sure what brand I'm going to go with yet, but crash bars is number 1 on my list, and I'm more the person that's going to get stuff as I need it. I don't want to just buy stuff to buy stuff that I don't really need, such as an exhaust. I love the way this bike sounds, and I know it sounds way better with an exhaust, but I don't need to spend $400 or $500 or whatever on exhaust and all that stuff. So another thing I'm going to eventually get is foot pegs. The foot pegs are very narrow, I feel like, where I wish they were a little bit wider or longer, and eventually also change probably the shift lever on this side, or just get it extended a little bit of a tight fit, but not the end of the world. Another thing is the skid plate down here. So it comes with a pretty basic skid plate from the factory, but at least it comes with one. I'm going to leave that for now, and down the road I will upgrade. I'm not sure which one again, but I will get a better skid plate that's also going to protect the coolant lines a little bit better and the lower end of the motor. So that way it should be good in most crashes. Another thing is your hand grips and also hand guards. So the hand guards are just these basic plastic ones, and I know if I take one good fall, they're going to break, but I don't want to upgrade them right now. I'm going to get the crash bars first, and eventually I'll get new hand grips too. I don't like these. As soon as my hands get sweaty, it's hard to grip these, and I'm not a huge fan of wearing gloves all the time, especially if I don't need them, like if I'm riding on the road or just doing light off-roading. I don't want to wear gloves, so that'll be an upgrade too. I do actually really like these mirrors. They kind of move around every once in a while, but I do like the mirrors. And another thing I'll do is the high fender on the rear end. I'm going to do it on the front as well. It's just, this hangs so low. Just bring it up higher. I think it looks nicer, but a lot more rocks and mud will get thrown behind me. And then on the front of the bike, you've got the Yamaha Tenere front fender, and it's a low fender, and actually really, I do like it, but I see bikes online that have the high fender like dirt bike kit up here, and I just think it looks so sick. So again, not something I need, something I'll get eventually, but to me it's just going to be more upgrade one little thing at a time and see what it is that I really need because I don't want to spend a whole lot on this bike, because I don't think it needs all these things that a lot of adventure riders do. So anyway, I plan on taking this on a bunch of BDRs, off-roading around the US. Again, I live on the road out of a fifth wheel, generally out west, like Colorado, Utah, California, Oregon, Montana, Idaho, all those states. I'll be traveling, hopefully creating some cool videos with the bike, off-roading. My girlfriend just got a Kawasaki KLX 230. It's her very first bike, so she went with a little bit smaller. Hopefully we can do some cool trails together.